Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again today. We're here for Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 3, and this is the episode we are meeting Miss Himeno, the queen of I forgot what Isanabana, I think. If someone else pronounces it, please let me know. But we are basically the debut of our Yellow Ranger. She is the queen of the land of beauty and medicine. Basically, in the beauty and the medicine part, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that in this episode. Basically, she ends up capturing these two right after episode 2, where she ends up capturing Gira and capturing Gira and Nanba. So they both get captured there. They both end up getting brought there after seeing like this massive, beautiful place. See that Gira gets handcuffs put on him and brought to her hall, basically brought to her audience. We see that we get the full-on view of her, how beautiful and basically how everything is. She comes off as like a very selfish brat type of girl. We see that she's weighted on hand and foot. Everything's bright, everything's colorful. We actually see the hospital or type of medical bay that she has and sees that everybody gets operated on and treated for sicknesses and things like that, and everybody seems to be at like peak health. But yeah, she is talking with Namba and Gira. She is strung Gira up from the ceiling and she wants Kiwataga from him, and she wants it from him because she's like, oh, it's very beautiful, and if you don't give them to me, I'm just gonna give you 2 regulars. And he's like, okay, fine, give me the regulars. Then I'll be able to go back to my kingdom and take it over and stuff. And she's like, I guess she doesn't understand what he says, because he goes on the whole tirade of, yeah, I'm just this big, I'll be able to. He's still playing that whole bad guy, I'm a tyrant king, bad guy type thing. She doesn't understand what he's like talking about. But excuse me. So her butler Sebastian, which later on we find out some stuff about him, and we also find out that Nanba has like sort of a crush on her, because he's kind of like kissing her. He's kind of like sucking up to her like the whole time they're kind of there, and like Geta even notices this. But we see that her butler Sebastian basically says that maybe there should be like an exchange for something like that, and she's like, nah, I don't have to give him anything, because everything in this kingdom is my favorite, so I love everything here. I'm not going to give it away to him. So Gira basically puts up a proposition that says, hey, if you give me, it was a food called Rainbow Guerrera or something like that, and he says it is like the ultimate food, the food he's always eaten ever since he was a kid and stuff like that. She said, hey, bring me that, and then I'll discuss giving Kawadaga to you with him. And she decides, okay, cool. But while this is happening, we see that the Bugnarak are basically hatching their next plan of we see that I forgot what was it, Dark Narak? Yeah, Dark Narak. Dark Narak basically says that, hey, he tells the grunts and things like, hey, kill the humans, kill them even if it kills you. And they're like, oh, okay. And then the rest, and his other dude is like, yeah, even if 100 of you die, then it still will be good if you all could kill 101 humans. So we see that one Bugnarak, a big dung beetle. He's a big dung beetle. He steps up to the place saying that, hey, give me the stuff, make me big, and I can go over there and destroy it all for you. And he's like, okay, cool. So we see with the Bugnarak got their own thing going on. They don't seem all that serious to me right now. I'm really not taking the Bugnarak all that seriously, for one thing. But so they basically send out the big dung beetle dude. So in the city, we end up seeing Himeno with Gira, Nanba, and Sebastian, and a bunch of other people. They're walking throughout the city, and everybody's giving her gifts and things like that. And then they're having her walk on like a yellow rug, or like a yellow they're making like a yellow rug for her to walk on, so she doesn't have to walk on the actual ground. And when she's walking on the actual ground, someone runs up and this kid basically getting ready to give her a present. He runs up there and he ends up splashing some mud on her rug, and she like faints, like dramatically faints. And they decide that, oh, you would have me walk on this dirty ground? Like, nah, I wouldn't do that. But Sebastian ends up cleaning out the mud off the rug. When she looks and sees the big field of beautiful flowers, and then she says that, hey, it was a good idea to plant those over there. And Sebastian's like, yeah, there was an overnight job, but hey, we got it done. And she sees like this house in the middle of the field, and this house is kind of like rickety and kind of broken down and stuff. And she's like, hey, move that house out of the way. He's like, houses aren't mobile, my queen. And he's like, okay, blow it up. So he's like, okay, and Sebastian, we say a Gita, and that he has all kind of problems with this. He's like, you just force these people out of their home just to blow it up. And then she runs over there. You see that Sebastian runs over there, tells the people to leave, and then she blows it up, clearing the way for the flowers so you can see more of the countryside. And I was like, yo, how'd they get the bomb and the dynamite and all that other stuff set up so fast? That was very like cartoony, but it was still funny. But it was still kind of effed up that you blew up these people's house just to see something. But so we ended up seeing a man who is pissed off at the queen because his daughter can't walk, and I think either his daughter, either he's making his daughter fake it. Yeah, because he did apologize. He's making his daughter fake being paralyzed from the waist down. So basically the government, or basically the kingdom, will give him money, even though his daughter has been operated on. And well, I guess she couldn't walk at first, but he faked it to see like, oh yeah, she couldn't walk. And now he's like, oh, he's kind of pampering, like, oh, well, my daughter still can't walk, so give us money and stuff. Even though he kind of runs like a business, but he's like swindling money out of the kingdom to give him money, and making his daughter fake being paralyzed from the waist down. So he ends up, they end up like kind of subduing him and things like that. And this little girl is actually kind of, she feels bad about faking it. Like, she feels bad about faking, not being able to walk. So after this, we see that they end up giving him the food that he asked for, and turns out he eats it, and he turns out, oh, well, it's really good. Like, he eats very elegantly, and she notices this, but Yanba, he doesn't eat elegantly at all. He kind of eats like a bad boy. He eats like a delinquent boy, and she calls him vulgar. He ends up. He eats it very. We see that Gira eats it very, elegantly. He eats it with like very much manners and things like that. He says that it's good, but it's not what he asked for. It's not it. Turns out it's basically a food that he's only eaten once when he was a kid, but he can never forget the actual taste of it. So since he can't, so he wants to create like a kingdom where kids can eat that, can eat the rainbow Gira. Rainbow Kidira or something like that. They can eat it without having to worry about anything. So turns out it's not real. He ends up leaving. He still gets chained up, but he still makes him leave. We did find out that Sebastian her butler has actually been working for her for 3 years, and turns out he's actually 25 years old. But the only reason he looks like an old man is because it's actual makeup. So because she wanted him to look more butlery. And it was actually pretty freaky. I was like, yo, clearly the actor is an old man. Clearly. But the fact that she made him the fact that she made him wear a bunch of makeup and change his name, and also made him change his name to Sebastian. Yeah, that's kind of weird. But we do see that the actual big dung beetle Bugnarok begins his assault. He ends up beginning his assault on the city. Well, also we did see that the butterfly. Well, I haven't gotten the name yet, but the purple ranger / like a light, like basically the purple ranger. They're there. It's not confirmed if it's a girl or a guy yet, so I'm just gonna say they. But they're actually in the background. They're like walking around, like I'm guessing they're gonna meet. I'm guessing they're gonna meet them last. Obviously, you're gonna meet the big edgy guy last, right? So they end up he's there in like in the background. They don't notice he's there, but he's snooping around. But that's like we only see him in one scene though. But after that, we end up seeing this big dung beetle dude. He ends up attacking and everything, and then he ends up attacking everything, attacking the city, hurting all the people, things like that. We end up seeing like the man with his his daughter, her legs aren't working and stuff like that. She's too afraid to get up and run because she's like scared that people are gonna find out that she was faking it. We see that the Himeno, Yanma, and Gira end up going out there actually fighting a lot of the attacking Bugnarok, and we see that the little girl, she gets like we see that the little girl is about to be attacked, and then she's about to be hit by like a stray, like stray debris and things like that, and that's when Himeno goes and saves her, shields her, her dress gets really dirty. Her dress gets dirty. And she's like, wait, your dress. She was like, they can always make a new dress. There never can be another you. Like, I can't replace you. I can replace the dress, but I can't replace a human life. So that's when that's when Himeno Etsy gets up and she decides that she's gonna take out she's gonna start taking out all these freaking Bugnarok and actually take out the big dung beetle one. And that's when the girl basically gets she gets the motivation to not do what her dad was telling her to do and actually get up and walk. So she ends up walking and things like that, and the girl, and then, I feel like Himeno knew the entire time. Like, Himeno knew that the girl could walk. And her dad was just kind of just like egging her on about it, but she knew she could walk, and then she found the motivation to be able to walk on her 2 feet and actually have her own life now. So that's when a fight ensues that we see Himeno actually get out. She says, hey, let me use Kiwaraga. And he's like, all right, cool, it'd be my honor to do it. And then he ends up after he sees like her her selfless act, he lets her use him, and then we end up getting King-Ohger. We end up getting King-Ohger, but they're all using it this time, and we actually get to see another like little auxiliary Zord, which was a snail, but he was like a little Gatling gun. He was really cute though. But he was actually really, really fast. Like he's just moving around, and then like she looks at him and says, "Oh, you're so cute. Come to me." And he turns around. He looks up. He looks down. Hey, it's a snail, but he's super freaking fast. He gets up and he jumps on. He's like a little Mega Buster looking thing, but it's like a Gatling gun. And they end up using that on the dung beetle to end up breaking his shell. Once they break his shell, they ended up they ended up defeating him by her using her praying mantis to basically cut him up into pieces. And that's how they ended up defeating the dung beetle. So we see that the father, he ends up apologizing for everything that he did, and we see that he's not making his daughter fake being paralyzed anymore, and he says, I'll find a way to make money somehow. So basically, for a way for him to pay for his sins, he's basically said that I'm basically going to clean the queen's dress. And that's when Gira's like, yeah, man. He's like, all right, cool. Well, I kind of knew she was good. I kind of knew she was a good person from the start. Actually, I kind of knew she was a good person from the start, really. I noticed how good of a person she was when she came and saved me, and my friend back when the Bugnarok attacked my kingdom. So, I actually see that she is actually a good person, sort of. So that's when we see the Black Ranger. I haven't gotten his name yet, but he has a giant freaking Hercules beetle, which was cool as hell. That's my favorite bug of all time. But he has a big Hercules beetle Zord, and we see that he was actually talking to Regulus and saying he's like one of the most loyal to Regulus, and he says that, oh well, Gira being able to use Kiwaraga is like very troublesome, but I have a plan if you let me carry it out. So we see that he ends up flying to Himeno's kingdom, and actually shoots at Gira and everyone, but they end up getting into Kiwaraga and actually like flying off with him chasing after them. And that's basically the end of the episode. And next episode we are going to his kingdom. So they're like the feudal Japan samurai-ish kind of kingdom, which I'm very much looking forward to because I love that type of era type stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. But Man, this episode was actually pretty cool. It's just another introduction episode to another ranger, just like the next two episodes are going to be. I did like the aesthetic. Like I did love the aesthetic of the in this episode because everything was just so beautiful and everything. But it wasn't too super CGI'd, and things like that. It wasn't like super drenched in CGI. But yeah, I did like her personality at first. She didn't seem too effed up to me. She was like a brat, but she wasn't like a mean brat, you know. And at the end of the day, she still was good and had honor to her kingdom, which, you know, that's a given. Like none of these rangers are actually gonna be real assholes. But yeah, and I'm also, you know, I'm liking how we're introducing all the rangers at first. Like you're basically going to each one of their kingdoms and also forcing those to go to the next kingdom by having something different happen every episode. So, but yeah, I like this episode. We got two more left. We got two more introductions left before we get to so we can start getting to the real nitty gritty of the story. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, stay henshin.